fastest on pole. A huge field of very diverse cars in the NZ GT class, and they all come down to turn 1 Dunlop and get around the corner with no dramas. Kevin Cantwell leads from pole with Brendan Soul very close behind. Andre Cowan in the BMW, but Greg Kilworth is really putting the pressure on the race leader right from the start. But it's Brendan Soul who really puts the pressure on with his V8 engined RX-7, and Kilworth up the outside. But there's problems for Soul as the engine sounds very, very noisy inside the car, and Kilworth closes right on him as they head onto the back straight. And round the outside goes Kilworth, taking all the advantage that he can as he heads down into the braking zone for the Hauraki chase. The whole field comes down, and Andre Cowan very, very nearly hits the wall. John Telford's Mitsubishi V3000, the GTO with the V8, and it started in 10th position on the grid, was up to 5th by the second lap and consistently was overtaking cars. He went past Cantwell going into the clubhouse sweeper and started to close on race leader Kilworth. As they go down to the braking zone for the Hauraki chase, you can see just little bits of smoke coming out of the GTO as Kilworth holds his lead. Graham Barnes in the red Ford Capri V8 was 14th on the grid, but by this time of the race he was up to 9th position and moving through the field very quickly. But it was Greg Kilworth back after a 3-year layoff who was leading the race at this stage. Telford closing on him on the V8, and down the long straight the V8 power showed its superiority, but more smoke coming from the car as it came down to the chase. On the pit straight, Kilworth right in behind it, just not wanting to let go at all, and down the end of the long straightaway, eventually all that smoke that indicated a major problem as the car exploded. You can see the conrod bouncing across the track, and it goes through the windscreen of Kevin Cantwell's Porsche as he comes down into the braking zone. Meanwhile, Graham Barnes in the V8 Ford Capri is closing on Kevin Cantwell and manages to overtake him at the end of the long straight. Cantwell still just a little bit shell-shocked from having the conrod land in his lap. A big slide there from Barnes as he goes on to the start-finish straight, chasing after Greg Kilworth, and at the end of the long straight for the final time, there's absolutely nothing in it as they come down through the chase and head for the checkered flag. It's just a drag race to the finish, and Kilworth gets it by a mere 20/100ths of a second.
It was on fire, and it was going so well, and thought it's too good to be true, and then next minute it went bang, and this is what came out the side of the block. Unfortunately, it went through the windscreen of one of the Porsches that I'd just passed, but he wasn't too upset about it. So